Alright guys, so I am actually recording this portion of this video after I have already done the lab with my brothers. So I wanted to give you a few tips and tricks if you haven't done the lab yet that might help you out. First, I would suggest marking or writing down which colored gummy bear is going to be your bear that goes into tap water and which one will be your bear that goes into salt solution. This will just help make sure that your data doesn't get mixed up between the bears. Also, I talked about it in the video, but my brothers and I use spoons, not forks. That's completely okay. That was just what we happened to have with us at the time. We also had a kitchen scale to measure the mass of our bears. If you don't have a kitchen scale, don't worry about it. If you do, that'd be another cool thing to measure, and I talk about how to do the calculations for that as well in the next video in this playlist. But if not, don't worry about it. And then this one is completely my bad, and I apologize, but there might not be enough salt in your salt solution. Try it with what we've got. It just means that it wasn't necessarily the results that I was expecting, but we can still use it to discuss the lab because sometimes science experiments don't always go the way we want or the way we think they're going to turn out. And my last note is to be careful with the bears that you're getting out of your tap water because depending on how large they get or how long you let them sit in the water, they'll get very soft and squishy and they might break. I am just going to run through the sheet that has like the procedure and the introduction and all that. Ignore my notes, just in case you guys need someone to read it for you. So, osmosis in gummy bears. Introduction. Molecules are in constant motion and tend to move from areas of higher concentrations to lesser concentrations. In this activity, you will explore how water moves along its concentration gradient. In the human body, water and other molecules move in and out of cells in order to maintain homeostasis. In this activity, gummy bears are used to simulate cells. Gummy bears are candy that are made up of gelatin, starch, and sugar. Gummy bears are like cells in that they are selectively permeable. Okay, so that's just our introduction. So that just gives us a little bit more background knowledge. If you need to listen to a review of osmosis, you can look at the first video in this playlist. So our research question that we are focusing on for this little lab activity is, where is the concentration of water molecules highest? In tap water, salt water, or gummy bears? So that's the question we want to answer. Next, we want to make a prediction or come up with a hypothesis. So using what you know from the diffusion across a membrane lab, the one you did with Mr. Tackentine, what is your hypothesis for the research question above? So I want you to come up with an if-then statement. So if blank happens, then blank happens. So pause the video now and come up with your own hypothesis. So all of the materials, I'm not going to run over them just because I actually mailed you all the materials that you'll need. For the procedure, first, if you haven't done the lab already, just listen to the procedure once, and then you can go back through and go step by step. By listening through the first time, it helps you get an idea of what you're going to do so that you can expect what you're going to do next and be able to be prepared for it and not be rushing around trying to figure out what you need to do next. So first, read the procedure and decide how to organize your data table. Generate your data table in the space below. 2. Label your plastic cups, one tap water and the other salt solution. Lucky for you, I already did this for you. 3. Measure each bear, finding the height and width. Record your dimensions in centimeters in the data table. When measuring the width, use the foot end of the gummy bear. 4. Place the bears in the cups, completely covering one with tap water and the other with salt solution. So again, you'll have to mix the salt that I put in your package and just fill the water up to the line marked on your cup. 5, you will place the cups out of direct sunlight and let them sit covered overnight. So use your tin foil to cover the cups and just let them sit. Number 6, on the next day, gently pour the water out and pat the bears dry. We also scooped our bears out. Either way works. Number 7 in your packet is a little off. You just have to repeat step 3. And then number 8, you will use the data you have collected and the hint box below, actually it's on the next page, to calculate the percent change in height and the percent change in width for each of the bears and put this information into your data table. And then if you did this with your family or friends, you can compare your data and indicate any trends that you noticed in that data. So with all that being said, the next part of this video will be my brothers and I doing the lab. The next separate video in the playlist is me going over that data and explaining it and going over the answers from your lab packet. Hey guys, it's Miss Bellata here. I have my brothers Holden and Parker, and Preston's recording because he's a loser and he's too cool to partake in our lab here. But I sent you guys a package. You probably have it you should have it by now with all the materials that you'll need for this lab. I have already measured out the amount of salt that we will need in our salt solution cups. You guys have them in plastic baggies. Just empty them into your cup that says salt solution, and then you will add enough water to go up to the black line that I drew on your cup. Okay. You guys have forks. We're using spoons because that is what our mom has at her house. So Holden, you can go ahead and add water to your salt solution cup. And then Parker will take his turn.
Do both?
Yep, go ahead and do both. You'll add up to the same amount of water in the other cup that says tap water, but that one you're just going to have water and not the salt. Parker, do you need help?
No. Oh, yes.
Okay.
No.
So go ahead and start stirring that up. You want to make sure that your salt is dissolved in your water. It'll look cloudy. You just want to make sure there's not really any salt like stuck at the bottom.
Do we do both?
Yep, I already put water in that one for you, bud. Okay, so once our water is all dissolved, we're just going to take that and we're actually going to set that to the side out of our way. Now that we have those all ready, in your directions it says to make a table. I already made ours here. We have where we'll put our information for what I called our water bear, so that's just our tap water, and I called it our salty bear. And then I have a box for mine, Holden's, and Parker's. I just use our initials to mark it out. We happen to have a scale at our house, so I also added the mass measurement. You guys don't have to do that because I know not everyone just keeps like a little food mass in their kitchen. But you guys should have a box where you can put the information for your original height, your height on day 2 or after the lab is finished, the original width, and the day 2 width. So that is where we will be putting our data once it is collected, which we are going to do now. So like you guys, we only have one ruler. I included those in your packages as well. We are going to make sure we are using the centimeter side. You guys don't have to worry about that because I only put centimeters on your rulers. But what we are going to do is we are going to take turns, and we each have 2 gummy bears. We each chose different colors. Well, Holden also chose orange, but that's okay. So what we're gonna do is to measure the height, we'll take our gummy bear and we just put it up to the side and we measure the height. I obviously can't see it when it's facing you, so I am going to measure from the bottom of my gummy bear to the top, and mine is about 2.3 centimeters. So I'm going to write that down for I forgot to add the difference for my first, no, that's my water bear. So 2.3 centimeters for mine. Okay, so then that will be for my water bear, and then I'll measure the height for my other one, which has something wrong with it. It's got like a white eye. That's weird. This one is about 2.4 centimeters. So, all right. And then for the width, you're gonna measure down by the feet for the width, the feet of your gummy bear. So mine is about 1.1 centimeter for the water bear. And then 1.1 for my other one. And I goofed up and I put those in the wrong box. It happens, even to the best of us. Okay, so Holden, do you need help measuring?
No.
I'm gonna help Parker measure his. So we're gonna start with your red bear. That'll be your water bear. You're just gonna line up the feet with where it says 0. And then you go to the whole number that it gets that it goes past. So the whole number is 2. And then we see if it goes past any of the little marks. So it goes to that first little mark. So we say it's, good job, Parker. So we say it's 2.1 for the original height. And now we're going to measure the mass for ours. Like I said, if you guys don't have a scale at home, you don't have to do this. So, we'll start with mine. So I did orange for my water bear. So I'm going to just put the gummy bear on the scale. It's about 3 grams, and it says it's 3 grams. So 3 grams for my water bear. Take it off. Put my other one on. That is also 3 grams. Okay, so now we have all of our measurements. We have them filled out in our table. And now, all that we're gonna do is make sure our solutions are stirred up. Bring our solutions back. This is where it would be helpful to either have written down or just remember which color you made what. So I remember I made my orange, my water bear in my table. So I'm going to put my orange bear just in the cup that is just water. Then I put in tin foil. This is what we're going to use to just cover our cup. So we're just going to cover our cup with the tin foil. That one's done. Then I take my pink bear, because that was the one I put in my salty bear column, and I'm going to drop it in my salt solution. Again, I'm going to take a piece of tin foil, and I'm just going to cover it up. So, yep, go ahead, boys.
So this is my...
That was your tap water one. So put your red bear there. And then we're going to put your purple bear in the salt solution. Okay, and then you're just going to take it and you're going to cover each cup with a piece of tin foil. Okay. And now we wait. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna place these in a place that won't be in direct sunlight. So we'll probably put ours on a counter here in the kitchen somewhere that isn't right in front of a window. And then we will check back on them tomorrow. All right, so we're back. We've waited about 24 hours and we have our bears. We are going to take the same measurements as we did yesterday. This time we're going to start with Holden and we're just going to go down the line. So Holden, take a spoon and start with your water bear. So go ahead and scoop it out of the tap water and just drop it right on your paper towel. And we're going to, oh, it broke.
It broke.
Okay, well the one side is still intact, so we're just gonna kind of pat it dry. So be careful not to break your bear. Fell apart. So
at the same time, both pieces.
So we're just gonna kind of pat it dry, or try to, and try not to break it any more than we already did. Okay, so we're gonna take our ruler and make sure we're using the centimeter side. We're gonna measure from his one remaining foot to his head for the height. Okay. So Holden, what do we have here? It's about
6 on that area.
Here, we'll use our spoon to kind of line it up.
Like
4.0. So for day 2 height for Holden's water bear, we are going to put 4.0. Now the width is going to be a little bit difficult since we broke off his other foot and we were supposed to measure foot to foot, but we're going to try to just line it up with the rest of the bear using our spoon, the end of our spoon. It's not right on 2 yet. It's more like 1.8. So for the day 2 width for Holden, it will be 1.8 centimeters. Okay, so if we look at Holden's data, oh wait, we still have to do the math. So we're gonna take our scale. I'm gonna take both pieces of the bear to try to get the entire thing on there.
That looks like Jello.
It does look like Jello. And the mass is now 9 grams.
Nothing.
And I'm going to review all the data after we collect it in a separate little piece of the video. Okay, so next, Holden, let's do your salty bear. So take your spoon, scoop it out. Hopefully this one should stick together more easily. Just drop it on the paper towel. And we're gonna just dab it off to dry. This one sticks together a lot better than the other one. So again, we're gonna take our centimeter side, measure from foot to head.
2.4.
Yeah, 2.4. So for our salty bear, and then for our width, what's that, Holden?
I'd say about 1.1, 2.
We'll say 1.2 centimeters.
The same.
All right. Now we're gonna do mine. And we are going to clean all this up and I'll go over the lab questions with you guys.